Security is always a big thing when owning vehicles. For instance, where I live now, we have people who decide to attack my vehicles, egg it, slash the tyres, things like that. So for my van, we're not having any of that. In fact, we've got a security system, but we don't just have one camera. We've got 4 cameras to set up on this van build because I don't want my van attacked. I want to make sure it's never going to get stolen, and to be honest, I like this van. So I'm going to be putting on as much security as possible. We've already got internet on board, so without further ado, in today's video, at sunset, let's set up installing cameras. I had a dream. There's 4 locations I want my cameras. One here, one here, one here, and the final one here, hidden in the dash to watch through all of the windows. Prior to this video, I have stripped the ends of the cables and I've wired them up to the battery because they're only 5 watts, which means I have the cables already set through the roof, ready to put the cameras into position. The camera is going to be going somewhere around here, so the best way to put it in really is just like that. Drill a hole straight through. Now, as I don't want to make too much of a mess, I've got one small hole which the cable will fit through, but everything else won't, so I'll just cut the cable and rethread everything together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 individual colours, and again, the other 6 are on this end. Now what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be pulling back on the colours to expose the cable, where I'm then going to be tying them together, soldering the cables together, and then taping them up with electrical tape in order to create the connection again. Now, of course, I'll be doing this once this is into the van, and this will be on the inside of the van already, so that will make a complete connection, and that should make the camera work. But there's only one way to find out. Here are the cables coming through the van, and here are the other end of the cables. What we're going to do is we're going to tie them all together, hopefully be able to solder them if I can reach my soldering iron up here. If not, then we're just going to have to tie them together and tape them up. That's one connection done. That's the second connection completed. Even though it's coming out as a little bit of a mess, the connections are seeming to be really good. That's another connection completed. So it's getting really fiddly now as they're all closer together. It's another connection completed, only 2 more to go. That's another connection completed. And we're on the final one, which shouldn't take too long. Just twist them together, chuck that round there, an extra piece for protection. And that is all 6 connections connected. As you can see, all the ends were twisted together and then they were protected with electrical tape. Now, before I go any further to make sure this is secure, we need to make sure the power is working. So to test that, I'm going to plug it in and see if there's a red light that appears on the camera. And what do you know? The camera is lit up. That means there is power going to it. Brilliant. I have now taped all the connections up closer and tighter to make sure these won't come apart. Now it's time to pull the camera a bit further in and start screwing bolt holes, because we're going to bolt this to the van. M6 bolt and the washer. And the idea is that goes through there. I then put another washer over here because that should cover the hole. And then I've got another washer for inside and as well as the bolts. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and hold that in position, run inside the van and screw it up. So give me a sec. Now that the camera is screwed onto the van, what does that mean next? Well, if you have any common sense, you'll realise that water will get in anyway. It doesn't matter how many washers you use, water will always get in. So, we've now got to silicone everything, especially on the inside. We're going to go around the cable, we're going to go around the bolts, and then we're going to go around the edge here. just to make sure everything's completely sealed. Realistically, there can never be too much silicone. So I'm covering every point I possibly can. I'll let this dry overnight, and that should be the camera waterproofed on the inside. Perfect, perfect. Well, there's a lot on that one, but I'd rather there be too much than too little. Perfect, perfect, perfect. I'll be amazed if a drop of water gets through there, but it's time to do the outside. Now that the security camera is set up, I can rest easy in my bed, knowing that at least one of the doors for tonight is being watched before I set up all the others tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching today's video where I have installed security on my van. If you guys are interested in the type of camera, I've used a TAPO camera, which I will link in the description below. These are amazing cameras, they're waterproof, and now they are van-proof, as they are going to protect my van. Thank you so much for watching, and I shall see you guys all in my next video. Adios, mis amigos, and I shall see you later. Goodbye.
The end.
Like this video!